Hey guys, it's Jarek the Dragon from Red Dragon Airsoft. Got another chrono today, and this one is of one that's kind of hard to get right about now. This is of the Cybergun Galil. Now, we're only using an 8.4 volt battery in this because this can't fit a 9.6. However, I do have a 9.6 stick type that I'm also going to be chronoing it with after the 8.4 for rate of fire, because you can fit a 7.4 LiPo in this thing. So, I just don't have a 7.4 LiPo with me. It currently died on me. So I gotta get a new one, but let's make do with what we got, and let's go ahead and chrono this. If you want to buy this gun, there's a link right below me in the video information. There's also a link right below me to getting an extra magazine for the gun, and a link below me to RDAF forum. So with that said, let's go ahead and see how hard this thing shoots. Alright, so feet per second first. Again, this is only using an 8.4 volt battery and 0.2 gram BBs. So, semi-automatic, feet per second. 371, 363, 374, 431, wow, that seems a bit off. 375, 370, 374, 367, 377. I'm not sure if you guys could see those shots, so I'll do a few more. 373, 371, 377, 363, 369. So it's safe to say this thing's shooting in the 370 range, so it'll fluctuate between 370 to 380 feet per second, and a few shots about 365. So 370 feet per second, which is definitely respectable. It's about perfect. It's about what you want. You don't need anything more. You don't need anything less. If you were taking this into woodland, if you want to take this into CQB, I don't know why you'd want to. You'd have to lower the spring just a little bit to make it shoot 330. But again, this is a gun you're going to want to be using in woodland. This is not necessarily a CQB gun. However, if you fold the stock, you can use it in CQB. But again, you'll have to lower the spring if you want to do that. So let's go full auto and rounds per minute now. So RPM full auto. This is only with an 8.4 volt battery, may I remind you. $680, 670, 670, 670. Chrono's not wanting to cooperate. Either that or this is just one consistent gun. 660. Okay, so maybe it is just incredibly what's the word? Incredibly consistent. So this thing seems to be shooting around 670 feet per second. Very, very consistently. Alright, now that was only with an 8.4 volt battery. Now we're going to be putting in the 9.6 volt battery, and let's see the rate of fire now. Now again, the reason I am doing this is because you can't fit a 9.6 volt stick type. However, you can fit a 7.4 volt LiPo battery in this gun, which will give you the same performance as a 9.6. And I would actually recommend going ahead and doing that. However, my 7.4 volt killed itself, so I'm going to have to use the 9.6 stick type, which doesn't fit in the gun, but it'll prove its purpose for this video. So, rounds per minute, full auto, 9.6 volt battery. My chrono turned off just as soon as I went to shoot. $800 rounds a minute. 840. 890. 850. 830. So it seems to be around 800 to 900 rounds a minute, which is actually quite a bit, just a little bit above the usual for CYMA's motors. Usually CYMA's motors only shoot roughly around 750 rounds a minute with a 9.6. So this one's shooting about 100 to 200 rounds a minute higher than the usual one. So I don't know, maybe CYMA is improving, maybe Cybergun did something in the motors or added a different motor in. Either way, it has a higher performance than most of them, so that's pretty dang respectable. This gun's shooting somewhere around 370, 380 feet per second, 700 rounds a minute with an 8.4, and around 800, 900 rounds a minute with the 9.6 volt. Alright, so now it's time to shoot a can. I'll be using the 9.6 volt battery to shoot the can, and also I will be using .2 still, so semi-automatic. Alright, full auto. Alright, so here's what happened to it. It pretty well shredded. Pretty much every single, as you can see, exit wounds everywhere. Pretty much every single BB just cut straight through it. Aluminum does not stand up well against BBs flying at 370 feet per second. So regardless to say, this thing is, it's going to hurt if you get shot by it. And it's definitely going to kill a can really dang fast. Alright, so as you guys can see, this thing is definitely very respectable in terms of feet per second and rounds per minute. So this thing's shooting 370, 380 feet per second, and about a good 700 rounds a minute with an 8.4 and around 900, 800, 900 with a 9.6. That's definitely respectable. It doesn't really go overboard, but it's definitely reliable around there. It's very consistent around there. CYMA over and over again has proven their version 3s to be very good gearboxes, and this one does have a standard version 3 just like their AKs inside of this gun. So you know this one's going to be reliable, you know it's going to last you a while, you know you're going to have a good feet per second and a good rounds per minute for a very, very long time. So with that said, if you want to buy it, there's a link right below us in the video information. There's also a link right below me to getting an extra magazine, because you'll most likely need them. And there's also a link below me to RDA's forums. So with that said, that has been RDA's chrono of the Cybergun licensed CYMA Galil.